There are numbers that change the fate of nations, numbers that start silently, then grow until they become impossible to ignore. Today, one number is shaping the future of the United States of America, a number so large that even the most powerful economy on Earth can no longer control it. That number is $36 trillion, the national debt. And in this documentary, we uncover how America created this debt, why it cannot escape from it, and what happens when the largest economy in history enters a financial death spiral. Welcome to RichRoots. Every second you watch this video, the United States adds $40,000 to its national debt. Every minute, $2.4 million. Every hour, more than $144 million. But the real danger is not the debt itself. It's the cost of servicing it. Today, America pays $1.2 trillion every year in interest payments alone. That means no roads, no schools, no infrastructure, no health care, just interest. For the first time in history, interest payments are now larger than the entire U.S. military budget. A budget with 800 bases worldwide, nuclear submarines, aircraft carriers, everything. The world's strongest military now costs less than the price of America's debt. To understand the present, we must travel back, way back. After World War II, America had everything: the strongest industry, the youngest workforce, the world's gold reserves. The world trusted the dollar. Debt was small. Spending was under control, growth was unstoppable. But things changed. In the 1970s, the U.S. abandoned the gold standard. Suddenly, money was no longer tied to anything physical. The government could print, borrow, and expand endlessly. What followed was decades of tax cuts without spending cuts, endless wars, expensive social programs, rising health care costs, aging population, recessions, financial crises. Every crisis brought more debt. Every solution was to borrow more. And year after year, the snowball grew. This part reveals the truth almost nobody knows. America owes money to four major groups. 1. Foreign countries. 25% Japan and China are the biggest lenders. 2. The Federal Reserve, 25%. Yes, the U.S. owes money to itself. 3. Investors and corporations, 35%. 4. Government trust funds, 15%. This includes Social Security, the retirement money of Americans. But here is the hidden detail. The government already spent that retirement money. It replaced it with IOUs, pieces of paper promising to pay later, and later is now. Let's simplify the math. America earns $4.9 trillion a year from taxes, but it spends $6.2 trillion. That means the government must borrow $1.3 trillion every single year, minimum. On top of that, the government must pay interest on existing debt. So the U.S. must borrow to pay the interest on the money it borrowed to pay for the interest on older debt. A cycle with no exit. The debt today is $36 trillion. In 10 years, it will reach $60 trillion. In 20 years, $100 trillion. Not because America wants to borrow more, but because mathematically, it has no other option. The most dangerous part is interest. Interest payments will rise from $1.2 trillion now to $3 trillion in a decade and $5 trillion after that. To put this into perspective, $5 trillion is more than the entire U.S. tax revenue, meaning every tax dollar collected will go to interest payments only. No military, no schools, no social programs, nothing. This is called the debt spiral. Once entered, no country has ever escaped. Many believe the U.S. can just print money, but printing money creates inflation. High inflation destroys savings, destroys trust, destroys the dollar. And if the world stops trusting the dollar, America loses its greatest weapon, the ability to borrow cheaply. Without global trust, the U.S. cannot fund its military, cannot support its economy, cannot maintain its power. Printing money is not a solution. It's the beginning of collapse. Raising taxes sounds easy on paper, but history shows what really happens. Higher taxes, businesses slow down, economy shrinks, unemployment rises, less income, lower tax revenue, debt increases faster. This is why raising taxes never worked as a long-term solution. When the U.S. struggles, the entire world feels it. Countries holding American debt will panic. Investors will run away. Markets will crash. The dollar will weaken. Trade will suffer. Global inflation will rise. Every economy on Earth is tied to the American dollar. And if the dollar falls, so does the world. There are three possible futures. Scenario 1, slow decline, high inflation, rising interest rates, weaker dollar. Scenario 2, sudden crisis. A major event triggers mass panic. Investors flee the dollar. Markets collapse. Scenario 3, controlled reset. The U.S. restructures its debt, but this causes a global shock. No scenario is painless. No scenario leaves the world unchanged. This story is not about numbers. It's about the future of a nation, a future built on the decisions made today and the debts created in the past. The United States is entering a financial era never seen before in world history, a debt crisis so large that it will shape the lives of millions. If you want Part 2, where we explore the fall of empires, the collapse of currencies, and what history tells us happens next, write in the comments. Part 2, and don't forget to subscribe to RichRoots, where we uncover the stories behind money, power, and history.